Now, who will emerge as the president of the Nigeria Bar Association? Well, as we speak, voting is underway to determine the next president of the NBA, the umbrella body of lawyers in Nigeria. Now, in the build-up to this election, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Adegboyega Awomolo, expressed some of his very strong views on the body's leadership and her future, stating, and I quote, "It will be a great failure of leadership for the senior advocate to surrender leadership to the outer bar when there are willing and able senior advocates." Yes. This year's NBA election is one in which two of the three candidates for the top prize, the president of the NBA, are senior advocates of Nigeria. So let's deepen this conversation now as senior advocate of Nigeria himself, Judge Chiedu Igbokwe, joins us live for more on this story. Sir, many thanks for joining us this afternoon on Newsday for a conversation around this. I would like to start off by actually getting your thoughts on that 1998 letter that has come out, and what exactly that letter and the wording of it suggests.
Thank you very much. The letter written by Awomolo was basically an expression of private opinion. It is not the view of the entire members of the body of senior advocates of Nigeria. It was a personal letter written for his own personal intentions. It is desirable that this leadership of NBA should be in the hands of a senior advocate of Nigeria, but it was not a policy decision. It has never been a policy or a law that it must be a senior advocate that should be the president of Nigerian Bar Association. But by the tenets of our profession, the senior advocates have been designated and categorized as the leaders of the association. So it behoves the association to choose from among the ranks of a senior advocate to be a president of the association. But be that as it may, it has never been an official policy. And in the past, we have had so many non-senior advocates who have aspired and actually won elections as presidents of Nigerian Bar Association. So the letter by Boyega Awomolo, senior advocate of Nigeria, was a very personal expression of his thoughts. It wasn't an official letter. It wasn't an official policy of the NBA or the law or the constitution of Nigerian Bar Association.
All right. With this letter coming up before the election, certainly a lot of people looked at it as almost hand-picking, talking about Olumide Akpata, because amongst the running candidates right now, Olumide Akpata is the only one who is a corporate lawyer, is the only one who is not a senior advocate of Nigeria. And they said that Awomolo might have written it to a president. I'm talking about Chiedu Igbokwe at that time to ensure that a section of lawyers are the ones that can become and aspire to the highest office in the association as against all and sundry, provided you're a lawyer. Do you still stand by this view?
No. Like I said earlier on, the senior advocates of Nigeria has a body that controls it. It is called BOSAN, Body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria. And it has never been their policy or part of their constitution that it must be a senior advocate of Nigeria that will be president of Nigerian Bar Association. No, it has never been that. The letter from Awomolo, like I said, was a personal expression of his desire that a senior advocate should lead the Bar Association. And like I said, by the tenets of the profession, by the privileges conferred on persons of deserving merit, a senior advocate of Nigeria is designated as a leader in all ramifications in the Nigerian Bar Association. So it is virtually common that in choosing leadership of a leader of the Nigerian Bar Association, a senior advocate of Nigeria should be considered. But in deserving cases, non-senior advocates have appeared and they have been chosen and elected as senior advocates of Nigeria. In the recent history, Priscilla Kuye was the president of Nigerian Bar Association, though he was not elected. But in the recent past, Chief Charles Adoga was not a senior advocate of Nigeria. He was elected. And the most famous one was Alao Akabashoru. He was not a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he was elected, and he led the bar creditably. So did the Dehen and those that came after them who were not senior advocates of Nigeria.
And now,
so
sir,
it is.
And now, sir, against all odds, we're looking at a situation where, going by, of course, voting is still underway and it's not finished yet, but we're looking at a situation where Mr. Akpata may emerge as the next president of the Nigeria Bar Association. What are your thoughts on this? And we'd also like to get your thoughts, of course, on the process itself and all the accusations of electoral malpractice within the NBA, especially since e-voting commenced a few years ago. What do you think about the system and the way it's set up?
Well, I have voted, and I voted seamlessly. And a lot of people are voting, and if by chance Oluwapata wins, it will definitely be a paradigm shift in the history of Nigerian Bar Association, because the majority of Nigerian Bar Associations were irked by that letter from Awomolo. And it's going to be a great plus to Oluwapata. A lot of them were irked by the letter and the controversies that it generated. And it resulted in a shift. I won't call it a protest vote, but people have been eager to show that the leadership of NBA is not reserved exclusively for members of the senior body of senior advocates of Nigeria. And now the e-voting system has come with its hitches. It's not been easy. It's a new process and it's bound to have its problems. The last one wasn't very palatable. The NBA didn't take it well at all. And you understand that some people who manipulated the system have been arraigned by the EFCC. This present system, this present e-voting has come with its own hitches. There's been a lot of problems highlighted by people. Some are still having problems in voting, but generally it is much, much better than the one we had last time. And if perchance Oluwapata comes out tops, he is leading marginally now. The elections will close around 11 p.m. today. We'll know the result, and then we'll know where Nigerian Bar Association members have voted.
All right. Much of the campaign for all those running for the office of the president centered around the welfare of young lawyers. Why was this a prevalent issue going into the polls this year?
It is obvious that it will be an issue, because in the past 6-7 years, the Nigerian Law School has been churning out young lawyers in thousands, minimum of 6,000 a year for the past 6-7 years. And then there is virtually no space in some chambers for lawyers. There is unemployment in the legal profession. It wasn't like that before. In the past, when we came out, there was zero unemployment rate for lawyers. As soon as you come out from law school, you are easily employed. But now you have lawyers who are not gainfully employed. You have lawyers who are in chambers not being well taken care of. You have a lot of young lawyers in their numbers, and they far outnumber the senior lawyers. And invariably, their welfare has to be an issue, because by the tenets of the profession, it is conservative, and by its conservative nature, clients prefer elderly and more experienced lawyers to the detriment of the younger ones. It's not that the younger ones do not meet up or do not have the quality or cannot express themselves in court, but experience matters. And these clients usually prefer those who are more experienced to the detriment of younger lawyers. So with the low turn and low down in the economy, it is obvious that most of them are either not gainfully employed or have their welfares minimized by the circumstances of the day. So it is bound to be an issue, and they are in the majority. They are in the majority of members of the profession. So they are bound to be an issue, particularly their welfare, in the campaigns. And it was rightly made an issue by all of them. All of them have promises. The three candidates, they all have promises on what to do to enhance the welfare of the junior lawyers. And in various bar associations, in various activities of the current NBA, measures have been in place to alleviate the problems of the younger ones. The current president of Nigerian Association set up a palliative palliative measure to help the younger ones, and raise almost 100 million naira to make sure that their welfares are protected during this lockdown procedure. So it is bound to be an issue, and it was an issue, and it is, in one way or the other, affecting the results of this election.
Mr. Igbokwe, hold your thoughts for just a moment. Arise News analyst Emmanuel Afeni joins us now in the studio to come in on this conversation. I'm sure you've been listening in on our conversations that we've been having with Mr. Igbokwe as well. And let us get your thoughts on what he's had to say and what your key concerns are in everything that we're looking at, especially to do with the electoral process around the NBA elections.
Well, first, the takeaway from that election is that they are doing it electronically, something we've not been able to do in this country in the general electoral process. I think that's kudos to the NBA that in spite of the COVID-19, they are able to put together an electoral process that all lawyers are able to vote from their various locations. Tells you that some of these things are doable if we employ the right technology. But as to the debates amongst lawyers, whether a senior advocate should indeed be the one to lead the association, I'm sure that's a decision lawyers in their droves we want to put to rest today, because it's a professional body, and since there's nothing in their constitution that precludes a lawyer from whether you are a senior advocate of Nigeria or not, then it means the position is open for everybody, and I'm sure a statement will be made today at the end of this polling.
Because against all odds, what we're looking at here is,
yes.
But we'll see what happens.
Yes.
All right, let's turn back to you, Mr. Igbokwe, and let's focus on the upcoming elections in Edo State. And it's been drama after the other, and recently a lot of people have criticized the former governor of the state and also the former chairman of the party of the APC for his criticism on the man from the PDP, talking about the present governor, Godwin Obaseki. And all that has happened in Edo State, or leading up to this point, what do you make of what is happening in Edo State and how it's unfolding by the day?
Edo State politics is peculiar, particularly from this moment to Edo State. It shows that political parties do not have or do not run their manifestos. The ease with which candidates can swap parties is very disturbing. You can see the peculiarity of Edo State situation. Pastor Ize Iyamu was formerly of the PDP. He was their candidate in the last election. Obaseki was of APC. And they ran their party manifestos. And suddenly, this present election, they have swapped places. That is simply what they did. They abandoned the policies of their parties previously and joined the new parties. It is obvious that political parties now, or election now, is being conducted on personality levels. It's unfortunate what is really happening. The people are perturbed. The people are confused. Oshomole has a very big role to play. He was the one who virtually imposed Obaseki on the people of the state, because he was not known in the political scene of Edo State. But he brought him from the obscure and imposed him on Edo State. And he expected him, according to him, to work, and they didn't work out together. He is now bringing another pastor, the man that he criticized copiously, and trying to push him or sell him to the people of Edo State. It's confusing. I'm a lawyer. It is confusing to me as it is to members of the society. And honestly speaking, it does not tell well for the politics of Nigeria. It does not tell well.
It doesn't at all, sir. It really doesn't. For him to outrightly come and say, I sold a bad product to the people of Edo State. Chief GC Igbokwe, many thanks for joining us on Newsday this afternoon and sharing your views with regards to the upcoming NBA electoral results that should be out later on today.